Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Ebben with the WBZ News Update. Top stories today. State police in Maine say numerous active shooter threats made at schools across the state were false, but they caused quite a scare for students, staff, and parents at Sanford High School, Portland High School, and Gardner Area High School, where emergency procedures were put into place, but no one was hurt. The FBI says it's aware of the threats, but there is no credible threat at this time. Women who ride the T are on edge after a woman was kidnapped and sexually assaulted while she was on her way to work. It happened at the Wollaston T station Saturday morning. Police say the 26-year-old suspect grabbed the woman and forced her into his car, held her captive all day long, and assaulted her, then dropped her off in a Brockton shopping plaza. Cities and towns across the state are getting ready for some snow tonight. Plow drivers have been put on standby to clear and salt any roads that become slippery. The Department of Transportation also says they're ready for whatever Mother Nature sends their way. For many of us, this will be the first snowfall of the season. And to find out when and where, let's get a check of our next weather forecast with WBZ meteorologist Lexie O'Connor. Lexie?
Paula, it's like a flip of a switch. We got the cold temperatures, and now we're talking about, yes, some snow and a little bit of a wintry mix late tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's going to start between 9 and 11 o'clock tonight and then into tomorrow morning. Mostly rain, but some snow and ice, some freezing rain, even some sleet might mix in well northwest of the city. So especially up in the higher elevations, that's where we could see some slick spots for your Wednesday morning commute. A winter weather advisory is in effect for areas in purple here starting at 7 o'clock this evening until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So northern Worcester County, western Mass, you are in that advisory. That's where we could see some slick spots. Now, this is the snow map. It's expecting all rain for Boston and points east, Cape Cod, the islands. It's going to be too warm to see any snow. But as you get outside of 495, we could see some wet flakes on the onset before we change over to rain. And then up in the higher elevations is where we could see a little bit of accumulation, only expecting about a coating to an inch, and then it'll be washed away by the rain. Up further north into northern New England, that's where we could see several inches. Up in the mountains, 3 to 6 inches is possible up in the mountains of Maine and New Hampshire. So here's our storm system still well off to our southwest. We will see increasing clouds through the afternoon, and then it's not until late this evening and tonight that rain and snow arrives. So let's track it out at 9 o'clock. You can see some snow starting to move through western Mass and Connecticut. Could start to see a few flakes right around now in Worcester County around 9 o'clock, and then it continues to push east. Now, by around midnight, we'll start to see this moving towards Boston and points east, eastern Mass, and Cape Cod in the islands. But it's going to be all rain for Boston and points south and east. And then outside of 495 is where you could see some snow before flipping over to rain as some warmer air moves in. Where you see some pink, that's where we could see some freezing rain. And it might look like it's raining tomorrow early morning, but with ground temperatures right around freezing, we could see some icing on the road. So that's our biggest concern for tomorrow morning during the early morning commute, especially again for central Mass up in the higher elevations and into western Mass. And then we'll see clearing skies through the afternoon tomorrow. Now it's going to stay cool though. For today, highs will just be in the mid 40s. We'll see increasing clouds, and then before that rain and that wintry mix arrives tonight. Tonight, temperatures drop down into the 30s. Coolest the farther west you are, that's where we do have those icing concerns. And then tomorrow, there's going to be a range in highs. Around Cape Cod and the islands, you could hit the low 60s, low 50s in Boston, 40s across the western Mass, especially. It will be a little bit cooler. Tomorrow's going to be probably the warmer day of the 7 days. We're cool and dry after that. Highs just in the 40s and overnight lows in the 20s. It looks like another chilly end to the week and chilly weekend. You know, last weekend we were in the 70s on Saturday. Not this weekend, staying below average. Paula, over to you.
All right, Lexie, thanks so much. I'm Paula Ebben. This has been a WBZ News Update. Have a good day.